Welcome to this channel, Awakened Beings. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you for tuning in. So here on this channel, I supply you with tools, messages, tools being like Reiki, meditation, energy work, but primarily I love doing tarot and oracle readings. I love channeling, opening myself up to divine messages. Okay, so here on this channel, I'm just here to support you, give you some messages and things to help you along your journey. So if that sounds good, feel free to check out any other content on the channel. And so let's get started. This reading is going to be just a straight up oracle reading. Normally I do tarot and oracle, but I really love just channeling and using intuition. I'm an intuitive reader, clairaudient, clairvoyant primarily, but I do have other psychic abilities. So I like using oracle because it helps me open up those channels a little bit more, my intuition a little bit more. So I'm just going to open up if there's a situation that you're dealing with, some sort of question you've got, just anything, just going to open up and allow spirit to communicate anything that needs to be heard, what needs to be honored to come through for you at this time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to pull from each of these decks. I did hear Ganesha. Ganesha is an elephant that removes obstacles. So that might be significant to somebody. Okay. I just heard runner, so I don't know if you're in a relationship or if you're feeling like you need to run away from a situation, or I get a sense that, so it just said runner, and it feels like either running out of fear or I feel like it's primarily from fear. I'm not sure what that fear is about, but either you or somebody in your energy field, okay, meaning somebody close to you, somebody interacting with you, but there's somebody who's coming through who is running away from a situation or avoiding a situation because they're fearful of either expressing themselves or some sort of outcome, okay? All right. Let's do into the cards here. We got renewal. Okay. I'm just going to see what we got. Destiny. Okay. So hold on. Immediately with these two cards, and going back to that runner message that I just got, I do feel like some of you are separating from a relationship, whether it's a friendship or from a family member or a romantic partner, but I just feel like there's some sort of connection that you're separating from, and you might be wondering if you should hold on to it or try again, or try alternative things. But with this renewal and destiny, I definitely feel like the distance apart, or at least taking a break, is gonna restore your energy and kind of bring clarity to you. And I feel like you're going to get realization about your path. There is a key in the back of this person. So I feel like if you're anxious about the space or not really knowing what's happening, what to do next or whatever, I definitely feel like just hold on and allow time to kind of allow you to renew and restore. And I feel like you'll get clarity, like answers are going to come to you as long as you just kind of be patient with yourself in the process. I definitely feel like you're going to be guided, and you're going to open up to what the answer is. Okay, so I definitely just feel like calm down, relax, just kind of the answer will come to you. Let's see. I do definitely feel like if you are in separation with a person, that it really is a part of divine timing. I feel like it's important for you to be separated from this person at this time because there's some sort of healing or growth or realization that needs to happen either on your part, their part, or both parts. It just seems like the way the relationship is going or was going, it 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 could have been challenging or stagnant or some sort of cycle. And so with the separation and this renewal and destiny, I definitely feel like it's for both of your guys' benefit. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be final and that the door is closed or anything like that. That's totally up to you guys. But I do see that the space is important, just to be able to tune into self, tune into feelings, tune into thoughts, and allow spirit to communicate to each of you individually, because you both have your own path, okay? So this definitely could be a message for you or the other person in terms of like, if you have the dream or a purpose to do some sort of work and that really needs your attention, then I definitely feel like the space is like, hey, you know, the space is necessary to free up your attention or their attention to be able to focus on that thing. And then, you know, as clarity opens up and things like that, it's possible for a reconnection if that's something you guys are interested in. I just do definitely feel like it's a healing period, a listening period, and a sense of direction period that isn't bad at all. So, yeah. Okay. Especially if you or the other person is feeling anxious. This could be definitely like a meditative period where you kind of collect your thoughts, kind of develop ways to manage that. Like how can you stay rooted and centered when those kinds of feelings are coming up? Okay, so I definitely feel like developing tools or acknowledging ways to support yourself or themselves during anxiety or times of, or you know, how to manage their thoughts, how to manage their mindset, how to where to direct their focus. Those things are really important for you and or the other person. So I just see it as like a learning period. I don't see it as something bad. So I hope that calms your mind. Definitely just explore tools to help keep you grounded. I definitely see that as an important thing. Tools to help keep you grounded and direct your focus on things, priorities. Okay. Okay, what else? Mirror, who or what is triggering you? Okay, so this is kind of similar to here, where it's still giving another message of kind of like a reflectionary period. And also, too, going back to that anxiety. So if who is experiencing anxiety, okay, what is activating that for you? Why? What is triggering it for you? Like, so I definitely feel like writing, being close to water, listening to water sounds, things that are going to dredge that up. Actually, I feel like you're going to have to confront this. So if it's you or the person in your energy field, whoever is the anxious energy, I definitely feel like it'll be a benefit to confront that and look at the trigger, look at where it's coming from, why, and then how you can console that energy. Because I definitely feel like they said inner child, but then they said something else, but I didn't quite catch it. Let me think for a minute. Inner child in terms of like, if you've developed anxiety because of like if your inner child isn't feeling safe, okay, then a way to approach the situation would be to address, you know, your inner child. So you could meditate and imagine yourself as a child and imagine yourself talking to yourself, or you could write a letter to yourself, you know, things like that. So comforting your inner child or comforting the version of you, your shadow, that is that manifestation of anxiety. Okay. All right. What else? Companionship. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Yeah, I feel like it's all coming together. And we've got the snake. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. So with this, I definitely just feel like, man, this is, I feel like you could have somebody in your energy field, or you are dealing with a connection that, like I said earlier, what card was it? Like I said earlier, it could have seemed stagnant or in some sort of a cycle. And in order for a cycle to be broken, you have to choose to do something different. Okay, so I've said this before, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Okay, so that's how you get stuck in a cycle, is if you're doing the same thing over and over and not choosing to do something different. So that's why I feel like this could be like divine intervention, where it's like, no, it's important for there to be space and separation at this time, for you to kind of, so you can tune in, and think about, the kind of things that you're allowing, the kind of cycle that you're in, and if you're willing to stay in that cycle, or if you're willing to do something different. So with the snake card, I definitely just feel like the snake is showing up as the representation of that cycle. Ouroboros. Ouroboros is the snake that like eats itself. It like chases its own tail. Interesting. What are you saying with that, spirit? It's like a cycle of self-harm. Okay, so I feel like you could be or have been in relationships, the connections that were harmful to you. Let me think here, or let me feel. So Ouroboros is the snake that eats its tail. So it just feels like this cycle, that a cycle of self-harm. And I'm not talking about like, physical harm like that. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the fact that being stuck in the same cycle that is harmful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Being stuck in a harmful cycle. But I also feel like, okay, so it's a snake that eats itself, and so I definitely feel like I understand. Thank you. If you're trying to, it's like when you're trying to pour from an empty cup, right? If you're not giving to yourself, okay, if you're not giving to yourself, restoring your cup, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. And so when you're giving out more than you're receiving, then the exchange is imbalanced, and that's what's harmful. Okay, and so the fact that it's the snake in its own cycle, there isn't another like snake or another person to receive or give. And so I hope that should make sense, at least with the cup analogy, right? But basically, you need to preserve yourself. Okay, you need to preserve yourself, you need to restore yourself, you need to choose you over this other person, connection, relationship, whatever. Okay, you need to choose you, and you do that by ending the cycle of anxiety and of chasing. Okay, because when they told me the runner, they also showed me an image of a person like running, and so that is symbolic of the chaser and runner, where it's like a karmic relationship. Okay, so there's always like an avoidant, and then there's an anxious, right? And so yeah, so typically the chaser goes towards the runner, and they pull away, and so that would be the avoidant. So I do feel like if you aren't in contact with this person, that they could honestly be waiting for you to reach out to them and contact them however many times, just so that, because that is the cycle. And so if you stop contacting them and you stop like giving your energy to them, then you're the one doing something different, and then they have to be like, wait, they didn't come back around, why didn't they reach out to me? And so it changes the dynamic, right? So it forces the runner to either change their behavior if they want you, and something else. What are you trying to say? What does it force the runner to do? I mean, change their behavior, of course, but I feel like there's something else. What is it? What will the runner have to do to save this relationship? Leadership. I mean, plain and simple. So if, like I said, if they want to save this relationship, then they have to stop being the avoidant and they have to come towards you. They have to change their behavior. They have to own up. And remember, I said the avoidant, the runner, is afraid. That's why they're retreating. And so they have to actually attest to their bravery. And so when I was saying, when I had the Destiny card up and this card up, I was talking about how the separation is good for both of you because you're growing in your own separate ways before you can come back together. And so for the runner, whoever that is in the relationship, it gives them the opportunity to face their fears and become brave and practice taking the lead, and things like that. So like I said, I'm not seeing that it's the full door closed end of this relationship. I just see that the separation is definitely elevating you in your individual ways, to where if you do want to be together, it will make the relationship like possible, right? Because the way that it is now, it's just not going to work because there's this chasing cycle dynamic. Okay, so and to the chaser, it also gives you an opportunity to, one, not chase, but you're also being a leader in a way. Because, like, you might think that being a leader is texting the person, reaching out to them. But you're modeling leadership as well, because when you like preserve yourself and focus on your priorities and things like that, when you're not just handing out your attention, then you're taking the lead on where your energy goes, if that makes sense. Like you're in control of where your energy goes, where your time goes, where your attention, you know what I'm saying? And so that in itself is modeling leadership as well in a different way. Okay, so I want to give you guys one more message because that was pretty straightforward. I'm going to pull this one and this one. Okay, go ahead and give them a parting message, Spirit. Okay, who or what is triggering you? Okay, so really lean into this. All right, Spirit is really communicating, like, please use this time to reflect, to tune in. You do not have to run from yourself. You don't have to run from your anxiety. You don't have to feed your anxiety. Okay, you don't have to feed the assumptions. You don't have to feed the worry. All right, so really just tune in and really just like be courageous with that. Okay, face it head on. Where does this come from? Why do I feel this way? You know what? I don't want to feel this way anymore, so I'm going to do something different. I'm going to lean into this tool. I definitely recommend, so some people are into crystals, I'm into crystals. However, there's a rock that I have that is like a really nice flat skippable rock, and I like it because it's smooth. And so I'll just hold that in my hand to keep me grounded, because if I feel something in my hand, then I'm present. So sometimes I'll wear crystal jewelry, right? But those are accessories. Yes, they work and they're helpful, but to me, I see them more as an accessory most of the time. So when I have something physical to grip, hold on, squeeze, that keeps me present. Okay, so definitely explore different tools for yourself. My throat is getting blocked. I don't know who that is, but yeah, my throat is getting really, really blocked. So I feel like there's something that somebody wants to say, whether it's you or them or both of you. You really want to say it, but maybe you don't know how to say it or if the timing is right. Yeah, but the throat chakra is really blocked, and so it's really important. Earlier I did say something about writing things down. Do something to express your vocals, okay? Maybe you need to sing or something, I don't know, but clear out that throat chakra, okay? So that's a message. One more thing here. I honestly feel like there's pressure in the middle of my throat. Um, it's almost like somebody has their foot on my neck. Interesting. Starting to go away now. Okay, last message. Okay, make it God's. I definitely know what this is about. It's about giving yourself peace of mind, okay? So whatever, before I read this, whatever thoughts that are in your head, worries, things like that, hand it over to your faith, whatever that is, just pass it along, because you don't need to carry everything on your own, okay? So make it God's. Release the idea of my. As soon as you start to say the money, the relationship, the job, freedom arrives. When there is no grasping, the right actions get shown. Free me from the prison of my dear Lord. Okay, so this is definitely about the act of releasing, the act of letting go. Okay, when you let go of a situation and just, you can, if you want it to work out, you can want that, but if you release it and just have faith that, hey, if it's meant for me and it's meant to work out, then this person will come back around and things will be as they were meant to be, right? So it's really about releasing and having faith, okay? So that is your reading. Hope that resonated. Comment below if you have any thoughts, comments, things like that. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck on your journey. Ashe.